Oops, sorry. There we go. Good morning. It's amazing light effect because of the cloud and the sun is behind it. Everything's so peaceful, thanks be to God. No sound of airplanes. Good to be back in Galilee. I'm just noticing how many things are so green, like in northern Italy, where I had this amazing, refreshing vacation. It's obviously brown here in Mount Arbel. So that green is just from those wonderful trees. I want to take you inside Duke and Altum this morning because of the readings. And the first reading today from the Book of Wisdom is very powerful reading. The Book of Wisdom is one of the last books of the Old Testament in the Bible, and it has this very powerful expression that would surprise many people who think that, people can be easily killed because there are lots of stories of violence in the Old Testament. But as the people get to know God's heart and their ways change, they discover and understand that God is not a God of violence. God is a God who hates death and the death of his friends and every human being in his image and likeness is made to live forever. I find that line so very special. That line of the first reading, that because we're in the image and likeness of God, we're imperishable. Like, why are we in the image and likeness of God? What does that exactly mean? What does it mean to be in the image and likeness of God? So there are many things. That we're spiritual, that God is love and we are called to love. But also because we're in his image and likeness, we're destined for imperishability. And God didn't want death. And sometimes human beings can even rejoice in the death of others, in the death of enemies. And that cannot be in the heart of any human being. no matter what the circumstances. Because like every parent, they want the life of their child. They want the life. And they will cry out to God for that gift. And today we have this amazing story that's represented here with the beautiful mosaic here in Dukenaltum. An amazing, amazing, amazing story. And this story is about this head of a synagogue, which really means the head of the Jewish community. And his daughter, 12 years of age, is very sick. And I'm sure maybe it's even the wife who says to him, Jairus, go and get Jesus. Because they believe that Jesus can raise from the dead. And Jesus comes and takes her by the hand and says two words in Aramaic language, which harken back to the Psalms. Talitha kum. Get up. God is always asking his people to get up, to wake up. And Jesus uses those words, get up, Talitha, little lamb, arise. And sure enough, to the astonishment of the mother, expressed so beautifully in this picture where she's also crying because she had the tears a few minutes earlier her daughter had died. And she is so filled with amazement, and Jairus too. They believed that Jesus could cure her, but we know that as the story developed, Jesus was delayed in coming, and the bad news came to Jairus that she's already dead. Jesus can raise from the death because God is against death. God does not want the death of the living. And so many human beings, we need to change our hearts. And especially believers, to believe that Jesus can do this. And that's the core of our faith, that Jesus can raise from the dead, that he himself is risen from the dead. And he who went through such incredible suffering, such incredible hatred, he came to share this resurrection with all of us. God didn't have to go through that. God didn't have to go through that suffering. And we could even go a step further and say God doesn't like that we suffer either. And here we have another story that happened in the middle of the story of Jairus and his wife and their daughter. And while Jairus was speaking with Jesus, another woman touched Jesus' garment, and she was healed of 12 years of hemorrhaging. And this is also a wonderful work of art done here, and we presented in the Encounter Chapel, done by Danielle Cariola. The one of Talitha Cum, the Mosaic Chapel, is upstairs, and the Women's Atrium was done by Maria Jesus Ortiz de Fernandez. And here we have this extraordinary rendition of this miracle, just focusing on the touch. If only I could touch the hem of his garment. What incredible faith. And that's what Jesus is astonished at as well. He just admires it and he praises her with such fervor, with such delight. Woman, your daughter, he said, daughter, your great faith has healed you. What a wonderful attitude to have in our hearts, that Jesus can cure. And the way this is depicted, Danielle Cariola painted the tip of the finger as healed and the rest of the hand not yet. Of course, she was immediately healed completely. but this way it's showing the miracle in progress like slow motion. And we are prompted to pray. How is our faith to come to Jesus today with somebody who is sick? Parents praying for a child that is very troubled, maybe physically sick, maybe spiritually disoriented. Come to Jesus and to pray. Lord, heal me. Heal my child. Heal my spouse. Maybe there are some hatreds. Maybe there are some major difficulties. Lord, come. I need you. Lord, I need you. I believe in you. People, it's good to be back in Magdala today. And we leave it like that for now. Have some more commentary at Mass at 8:15. See you soon. See you later. God bless you. We'll tell you more about the vacations as well, hopefully, the next time. Have a blessed Sunday, a blessed week.